Other thing we'll probably remember forever is what a legendary night in women's college basketball. I've been a long time, women's basketball fan pretty much since I was a kid, just, sporadically in and out, and really enjoying the rise and profile of, the not only the college game, but the W and
Yep.
different players that have come along. But man, that LSU Iowa game, that shit was so high level last night. I felt like I was watching I feel like I was watching like the Cavs and the Warriors or some shit. It was it was a great game, man, and it was like tied at halftime. At first there was changes of momentum. There was people just getting cooked, people getting exposed, people like doing the cooking, and I just thought it was just such a there's a big three on LSU of Angel Reese, Flau'jae Johnson, and Haley Van Lith. Caitlin Clark walked in the arena and said, "Motherfuck the big three, it's just big me out here." Oh, 41 points, 12 assists, 7
I think
rebounds.
7 or 8 rebounds. Yeah. Yeah.
Like this was dominance. This was greatness. This was like seeing like, yeah, man. And of course, LSU and Iowa has, they have all the backstory coming into it, all the
Right.
the other elements, the economic anxiety, the racial pride element of this thing.
Yeah, that was a part, which is also funny because of who's coaching LSU at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of that, but I think when it came down to it, it was really just basketball, and it was two teams that, you know, were competitive with each other. There wasn't like true, like it seemed like there weren't like dirt, like the game wasn't a dirty game or anything like that. It was like it was a
Yeah.
real competitive game. It was what Caitlin Clark did to Haley Van Lith, like she whooped this girl like a dominatrix. Like it I was wondering, do we have to check the unders for Haley Van Lith? Does Haley Van Lith have some type of parlay going? Is there some white on white crime here going on? Is Haley Van Lith a double agent? These are all things I was wondering. But jokes
Like
aside,
I'm gonna come out here and I'm going to defense of the racism my teammates have faced all year in the year that I've been at LSU, and then that'll finally rope them in. And then I'm gonna lay it down when it costs absolute at the worst possible time. That this ain't pro wrestling.
diabolical,
This ain't no soap opera. Get out of
diabolical.
here.
But yeah, like there were a lot of people questioning Kim Mulkey's strategy in all this, and I gotta say, like when they first came out, everyone looked so nervous on LSU because Iowa was like threatening to blow their doors off at the beginning. Like there was immediate bucket scored on Van Lith. They yanked her. The girl they put in, I think, was Poa. She immediately got like crossed up by Clark. Looked like she was gonna make her fall. Caitlin Clark hits a three in her face, and then from there it's just like, they're bringing more people back in, but predominantly, Van Lith like really, got whooped in the third
She
quarter.
got most of it. Yeah.
Yeah. But overall, like I thought Caitlin Clark was sensational. I think she's
Yeah.
just another level than like you know there were a lot of people upset at the coverage that goes into this stuff. Say, why does Caitlin Clark get all this attention as compared to like Angel Reese? I'm sorry, man. Like I think this is two different qualities of player, and Angel Reese has her strengths, but like Caitlin Clark is the one that's selling the tickets. Caitlin Clark is the mover and the shaker of this shit.
It's
Like she has the visually the offensive like talent to where it's like it's fun to watch.
that's what I was getting at. Or that's what I was going to say. Like, if I can understand your argument about level of success of a player, I guess, because it's a team sport and she won, and Angel Reese won, even though she was like, I think last year national champion, she was fourth on her team in scoring. Whatever. Like she's going to be a top 5 pick in the W draft, right? Whenever she comes out, fine, whatever. The thing for me is that like when people were doing the last year's national title game, when people were upset with Angel for doing the Tony Ayo thing to Caitlyn, it was like, all right, well, like you're on a much more talented team than her. So people and everybody else knew that. So a lot of people attack this woman, even though it's like this happens in every national title game in every fucking sport. Like we don't do this when Georgia blew the doors off of TCU when they were stunned on them. That happened. No one cared. But because it's women they do this thing where like women are not supposed to behave that way, which is bullshit. It's competitive sport. Like their blood, their sweat, their tears, their effort, their missed loved ones in being away from home don't matter the same way it is for these dudes. Like that, so that all blew up on Angel Reese. She's had to deal with that for a year. And then it turned into people to come into her defense but not defending her in the way that they should by talking about like this difference of celebrity around both of them. And it's like, well, they're both getting huge NIL money. They both came back because they still to make more money off NIL than they did in the W. I get what you're saying, but it's misguided. Or your defense is misguided, and it makes you sound like you don't know what you're watching. And it's like I get why you're defending her, and I'm with you, but defend her on the part where she's an athlete, she's allowed to be competitive, talk shit and talk trash. Just that's what athletes do in the competitive situations. They didn't do none of that.
And it's not like Caitlin Clark had a problem with it,
right? It's not it gets to like when they talk about Sabrina in the W or Breanna Stewart or her right now, Caitlyn right now is like, why is she getting all this attention? Because she just set the career points record. That's why. Because she has range that we've never seen anybody in the women's game have. Even Sabrina, who was is a transcendent player in her own right in that way, from a shooting perspective. So it's like she's taking this level from like we're seeing Ray Allen in the W right now, and like there's Steph Curry right here in front of our eyes, and she's stayed off a year from going to the W. So it's like that's why she's getting this attention. And is there definitely, because this is a white woman that is what do you call it? Heteronormative presenting? Absolutely. But I don't know what she has to apologize for. I don't know what you stand in the game by acting like she's not a sensation.
Yeah,
I just don't.
There's like a lot of hate, like on like people hating on her game, like Cheryl Swoops is talking a bunch of noise, like
it's been happening from
WNBA players,
former W players that sound like when we have to hear Shaq and Barkley and say that dumb shit every other week.
It's in every fucking genre. It's like the newness and
wrestling too.
Wrestling too. Like it's like, yo, man, like I don't know like what they were thinking, but like you don't lose that ability to shoot. Like, will there be some kind of adjustment? I don't know, possibly, but historically
there will be, because obviously the play is so much more talented.
Yeah,
right.
But historically, the superstars in college women's basketball, that shit translates to the WNBA. It correlates
to success way more than it ever did from college basketball from the men's side to the NBA. You're absolutely right.
Yep,
you're absolutely right.
And like Caitlin Clark is not doing this in Connecticut. She's not doing this for Pat Summitt, God rest her soul. She's not doing this in Louisiana Tech. She's not doing this in LSU and some of the other dynasties that we've seen. Stanford, South Carolina with their loaded team. She's doing this by herself. About midway through the game, I had sent a voice message to group chat, at James and now I'm in. I was like, look, I can see how this is going. And sometimes I'm pretty good at this, figuring out like which way the game's going to go. I was like, if Caitlin Clark gets an ounce of help, they'll win. Like if somebody can hit a three a time or two or make a layup or whatever, I was like, if she gets that, they'll win. Like, but if not, LSU's going to run off on them. And what happened was she found, the people with her passing ability, with her
Yeah,
ability to get past the first defender and make the person that's in drop coverage make a decision. It's like, are you gonna close in on me,
yep,
or are you gonna let me have it at the rim? And for a while,
yeah,
Angel Reese was blowing that shit up in the first half. Like she was
yeah.
like, it was like a sword damn near, and then she would like streak to the rim. But Caitlyn figured all that shit out. Like,
Yeah, like I only watched the second half because I couldn't get home in time to the game to see the game because I didn't know what time the game started. And all of a sudden I see you messaging me about the game and I'm like, I just got to the gym. I'm like, fuck, I gotta run somewhere real quick and then get back to the game. So I
it
actually
was
gotta watch the
real
whole second
interesting
half.
in the first quarter.
Right. So I missed. So I heard that Angel Reese got like rolled an ankle or something like that. So I learned about this after that. But I'm watching the game and I'm just like, this is only my second or third time watching her play. And I'm just watching her like she's not moving as well as she used to. And also like every time she's getting the ball in the post and they keep trying to I don't think they made a concerted effort to get her the ball, but it felt like there just wasn't much to what she had as far as lift or answers once she turned over her shoulder. It looked like a lot like when you watch bad college post players get the ball and they just throw that, turn over shoulder and they shoot it from their elbows by their hip when they get the shot up. It's like, that's not pass the ball back out to get to someone who knows what they're doing. It looked like that at times with her when she also been graded because she also had like the old Grady girl that's a stiff guarding her a lot, so she couldn't do nothing. And also a lot of times like you're just watching the game and you're like, all right, this team is more talented LSU top to bottom. You're watching it. Like Van Lith didn't have a great game guarding her, but like she still would look competent when she had the ball at times. Like Angel Reese defensively, while she didn't have much of a post game that game or whatever else, and maybe I'm being unfair to trying to compare her to the people she's going to have to play in the W eventually. When I'm like, dude, like Asia and Breanna Stewart's going to kick her ass. But it's bad ankle when I'm watching. I'm watching from like that's one of the things I like about about college basketball, as you mentioned, like the correlation for stars is like I'm already can have an idea of like what I saw of so many of the women in the tournament in prior years and compare them to like where they kind of track and what they will be when they get to the W. And I'm just like, who do I have to play against? So I'm thinking like, all right, Angel Reese, that's power forward in the W. All right, she have to get some Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson gonna eat her alive if that's what she had. But I didn't find out until later that she had hampered ankle. So I'm being a little bit unfair here. But I still think that, like, defensively she'll be a great defensive force in the W. But I wonder what she's gonna look like offensively. But like Caitlin Clark is this thing where like she has this level of range, and you see the ability to you see someone that shoots that much, and you just assume, all right, she's a ball hog, she's going to just jack up any shot in the world. And you see her like get the ball on rebound and then initiate the break by giving up the ball with a skip a head pass. And it's like she's willing to come off the ball when necessary, and she's she's just confident, bring the ball up, passing off, going to the corner or whatever else when it's not time for her to get the ball. It's just, unless it's the Martin girl slashing to the basket, nobody else seems to be competent on the Iowa team at that at a Final Four championship level. And I'm just like, all right, I'm glad that she got this W, but she plays UConn, she gets past UConn, there will be South Carolina sitting there. She ain't getting past South Carolina, but it's gonna be fun to see because it is almost like a one-man or a two-person team, her and Martin, and it was just really fun to watch her just basically just look against a team that was national champions a year ago. Like she looked like the best, like a woman amongst kids. That's what she looked like.
Yeah.
It was funny.
It was
like, not funny,
man.
but it was interesting to watch that because, like, she's still a guard, and it's still weird to see, for me, even to see guards dominating this way on a basketball court, like from that far out. It'd be one thing if it was like a trying to think. If this is like a Tarazi type situation, where it's like, okay, she's in control, she has a strength in footwork advantage, similar to when we think about Kobe or whatever else. It's flop the Steph thing. It's the Steph thing all over again for the women's game, and it's like, well, I thought we'd have seen that with Sabrina, and it's like it's a whole nother level. So I'm really interested to see the futures for everybody involved. I thought Flau'jae Johnson, like, I thought that she, I thought she did her best, and I thought that she probably should have been guarding Caitlin, but it would have been at the expense of the offense.
Yeah, like
So I think that's the
she's
reason
a
why they decided
dog
to
in
let her
ISO.
go out there and let Van Lith go out there and get torched.
Yeah, she's a awesome player in ISO. Like you can just see like all the moves like that she has. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's like a Dwayne Wade like ability. It seems like from 15 feet and closer.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't as offensively impressed with Reese. But like you said, like I thought there was like a Tristan Thompson like element to her, like on defense, to
You
where
have to
she can.
explain that because people don't remember.
Yeah, because like where Tristan Thompson can get back in drop coverage, close space, and then also like get out on the 3-point line and defend like people way smaller than
On the
him.
perimeter. Yeah.
I saw all that in Angel
Yeah.
Reese. So like,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, like Kim Mulkey take the L, get smoked.
Yeah.
Get smoked.
This man light up a Bayou pack.
Yes. Get smoked. Find one of them funny jackets. And
The crazy part is that wasn't like she must have knew that it was serious time, but she didn't. She wore
she
her
wore just
least
regular green.
her least ridiculous outfit of like the tournament that I've seen. And the last couple years she's been wearing some bullshit.
Yeah.
Like the way she was it last year when she had like the flamingo feathers on her shit? Was that last year? Yeah, man. Like
so.
she dressing like a wacky game show host. Like she dressing, people I've seen people say that she dressed like Ric Flair. I'm like, I'm sorry, I hate to tell you this. In the 2035 WWE Hall of Fame, we will see Charlotte Flair wearing this shit. She will have the same exact shit on. Or 2045. That's a little unfair to show. But yeah, she will be dressing just like this.
Yes.
So get ready.